Hi, in this video on retirement I'd like to talk about a couple of aspects of it that you might not have considered. Now this certainly won't apply to everyone, it mightn't even apply to the majority, but it will certainly apply to some of you. So what am I talking about? Let's supposing you are a shy person. You're introverted, you haven't mixed much with people. You've been holding down one of those jobs where you've perhaps been beavering away in the basement for 30 years. Haven't had a lot of contact with other people outside of people you're very familiar with, your work. You commute to and from, perhaps you lived alone, and you haven't made a lot of intimate friends. And now you find yourself in retirement. And suddenly, it's as though the rug's been pulled from under you. The routine of going to work, perhaps reading the paper or looking at your phone as you go to work, doing the work, talking to 2 or 3 people, coming home, having a quiet weekend, watching TV, that's all behind you now. You suddenly have all of this time available. And you're not used to going out and mixing with people. You're going to be very lonely unless you make the effort. It's very unlikely someone's going to come along to you and invite you out. They might. You might just get lucky that way. But generally speaking, it's up to us. As they say, if it's to be, it is up to me. So now you've got to sort of bite the bullet and perhaps do things that you've never wanted to do before. Go out and mix. In Australia that's relatively easy because there are just simply dozens and dozens of organisations for seniors which don't require any prerequisites to join. You just let them know you'd like to join and you join up. Probus clubs, for example, is one example. Probus clubs were set up by Rotary International, and I believe they still actually instigate the setting up of individual clubs. Now, as a public speaker, I have spoken to audiences in no fewer than 179 different Probus clubs, all around Sydney's environs and further away. And I know what these clubs are like. Very informal. You just turn up once a month. You're not expected to do anything except that you can mix with lots and lots of people. You can make friends with no pressure put upon you whatsoever. Before you know it, you'll have a circle of friends, be on a first-name basis. And these clubs, they usually have a lot more going for them. They might have a golf club within them, a tennis club, a book readers club, going out to plays club, the list, walking clubs, the list goes on and on. You can fit in there somewhere, but you have to make the first effort. Once you bite the bullet and go out there, and it's difficult for an introvert at first, I realise that, but every time you raise your voice and say hello to somebody and they smile and the conversation begins, it gets easier and easier. It might take a little while, but after not that long, you'll be able to mix and talk with all manner of people, and you will find yourself more happy in retirement. So don't just while away at home. Get out there and mix, because it's very important for your happiness. Another aspect I'd like to talk about retirement is this. When people retire, if they have a partner or a wife, and maybe they've lived in the family home for 30 years, the kids have grown up and left, they have a nice big home, perhaps with 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, plenty of room, no real problems there. It's when people downsize, it can become tricky. because people need their own space. Your partner, he or she, needs their own space in the home you share together. It might be simply one room, his or her study. Bedroom together or separate, that's entirely up to the couple themselves. But the point is, you need to have space where you won't be elbow and jowl to the partner all the time, getting in one another's way. Certain rooms, of course, are always shared: the kitchen, the lounge room, the dining room. And even then, you might not always take your meals together. My wife and I don't always do that. Some meals, yes, the evening meal almost invariably. Lunchtime, not always. I might eat lunch at the table, she'll be watching a favourite show on TV. This is how it is. You need to be able to give yourself space. So when you're thinking about downsizing, make sure that you have adequate space for each person to be able to escape to their own privacy when they desire to do so. This will make life a lot easier for both of you. I hope you got a couple of tips out of this, and I will continue to place these videos as the ideas about retirement come up in my mind. Thanks for watching.